Welcome back to Ventures and Vistas. Today we're going to go and visit a semi-abandoned little fishing village called Yiti, approximately a 20-minute drive from the outskirts of Muscat. It's a rather scenic drive out here, and there's beautiful rugged mountains around me, and this little village is tucked within these mountains, and hopefully give you a bit of an insight into the history and the culture of Oman from the early days, you know, the building and the architecture and things like that. Anyway, let's get into it. Welcome to Yiti Village. Must have wandered around here and I absolutely love it. It's just like a little time capsule, a little window into the past, which I find fascinating. I've explored this little roads around here and the little alleyways and the beautiful old buildings, the classic Omani architecture, and it's a real treat. There seems to be a bit of activity this side of the village. On the other side where I started off, there was not a lot happening. Kind of quite eerie. However, it is generally very eerie and peaceful and quiet. And there's not a great deal happening, which is quite a pleasant change. There's no chaos of traffic, no loud noises, just you, nature, a lot of cats and a couple of goats, and I think that just adds to the atmosphere of this place, which I love. Anyway, let's go exploring. Right, so this is one of the original buildings. You can see it was originally built with mud and rock, but probably in recent times covered with a layer of plaster. But if you have a close-up, you can get an idea of how these structures were built back in the day. And the walls are very thick. I measured around about 90 centimeters, close to a meter, so that's unbelievably thick. And that was all designed to insulate the houses when it gets so hot. And if you haven't been to Oman, let me forewarn you, it does get very hot in summer. So look at the simple roofing, timber, almost like poles running across with some material. Very basic style, traditional home. And tiny windows. Very interesting. So talking of windows, here's a classic example of a small window, raised quite high off the ground, in fact. And this is all designed to prevent as much sunlight coming into the house to regulate the temperature. So we'll just continue further down this little alley and just give you an idea of the sort of more recent architecture. You'll see on my right there's a little doorway which would lead into a courtyard, and courtyards are also used to help regulate temperature. They create shade, which will allow the cool air to channel into the house. So that's quite an effective way of keeping your house cool, along with also a personal sort of place for social gatherings and that kind of thing. And on the right, on the top of the wall, you'll see that turret style, which is also particularly common in Oman. You see that in a lot of the small villages. So that's something that's seen throughout the country. So that's a wrap. Absolutely adored this trip. I got a lot of value out of it. I've never explored a village like this. I'm ashamed to say I've been here for 2.5 years and haven't got around to visiting a little village like this and really getting to understand the architecture and the history and appreciate some of the culture of this fascinating country. And I feel Yiti is a great way to do it. It's an easy trip out of Muscat and very doable, and people are pleasant, and the scenery is just absolutely spectacular. And I think that in itself makes it well worth a visit. So I hope you get a chance to come here, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Okay, until next time.